All right. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another Cult of Collectors, Kentucky Fried Movie Collector, coming at you. Tonight we got o73 Media with us. o73 Media.
Welcome.
And as usual, we got Charlie.
There we go.
Special
Got that
effects going on
crowd
tonight.
pumped up.
There it is, right there.
And
I think I'm going to enjoy that very much.
I'm gonna try to keep using that. I've also got a laughter. If we hit something real funny, we'll just act like everybody's. We just got a big crowd behind us.
Yeah. Do you have a one that goes boo?
I don't think I do. That's sad.
That's already a
Yeah.
boo.
My only problem with the clapping is that I was talking about Friday Night Tots the other day. I actually made a video kind of against Friday Night Tots a while back, even though I'm fans of Friday Night Tots and Nerdrotic. But I felt like every time that they have a super chat, they all clap and applaud and play a applaud thing like that.
Yeah,
And it's annoying. And I made a video. I love those guys, but they kind of was throwing the show off the rails. They had great stuff, but they were putting precedence over super chats. I was like, I made a video, so.
Yep.
All right, so I'll hold off on the clap. I got you. We'll hold off.
No, you can use it. It's fine. I don't care. It's fine.
It's
And
cool.
to let everybody know who's watching now, we are going to have another guest with us on Wednesday because she can only do Wednesdays apparently. And that's Movies and Sue is what she goes by.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It should be fun.
Oh, yeah.
So, is it all right if I call you by your name on here? Do you not want your name out? Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
So, Tim, kind of, how long have you been collecting? And I've got some basic questions I asked, but how long have you been collecting, and what kind of got you into collecting? And
I've always been into movies and collecting movies and the such. However, I really started focusing on 80s movies because at one point my collection got up to around 1,700 DVDs and Blu-rays, and the wife had enough of that. So
That's
she
fair.
made me kind of, yeah. She
I was
kinda
about to
made
say,
me
I
make
fear
a
for you,
big
Jody.
choice. Yep.
Yeah.
She kind of made me make a choice, so I just decided to focus on 80s movies for the most part. I still buy some of the current 4Ks or really nice sets if I see them,
Yeah.
but for the most part, it's 80s focused.
I've
Does
got
that
a
mean
whole
you
shelf
have-
kind of like that, so it's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like, have you collected all the 80s that are both Criterion and physical 4K?
Working on it. Right now, I kind of collect whatever I can find just to get it into the collection first.
Okay.
And then, like, if I'm at Walmart and there's a DVD for $5, I'll pick it up.
Mhm.
And then if I come across the Criterion or something like that, I'll pick that up and swap it out.
Yeah.
But just getting it into the collection first, and then. But
Yeah,
like, I'll take.
Yeah, my collection's all over the place. Like, I love my 80s. Don't get me wrong. 80s
Mhm.
movies to me were the, like pinnacle of cinema, basically. I mean,
yeah.
in the 90s, don't get me wrong. So was the 90s. I mean, because films like Jurassic Park being iconic, Jaws, but Jaws was 70s. So, but they're iconic. And the way that the directors and studios, how they were able to work together and actually put a budget together, and with the practical effects back then, it's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, and the 80s were really the last decade and early part of the 90s, but the 80s were the last decade where they took chances on making movies. They would take chances on the jokes they told or just the movie in general, where now they're so worried about offending someone or not making a profit, or they don't take the chances like they
Yeah, and it's funny that you mentioned that because I was watching a video of a guy. You might know the channel, Minty Comedic Arts. He does the 10
I've heard
things
of
you
that.
didn't. Okay.
Yep.
He did one for the Terminator. The first one, and he had talked about how the budget was very low for that movie, and that it's technically a B movie, not like a. And I thought that was kind of weird. I was like, because it's such a cult classic movie now, and the practical effects they had in that, I mean, they were on a small budget, but it broke records.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's back. Nowadays, they feel that they have to put style over substance, and they have to put $100,000 budgeted movies. Meanwhile, they're phasing out the smaller budgeted films. Even Kevin Smith, who I'm a fan of, has said that he wouldn't be able to make Clerks nowadays because they wouldn't even give him a second look because of how low his budget was. There's no money in it, and he'd be regulated to putting it on YouTube, basically.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that story about him talking about Clerks.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where the studios are.
And I like Kevin Smith.
Oh, so do I.
But at the same time, I believe that's where media might be heading, though. I think it's where we're going to have to take it into that realm because the studio system's starting to fail.
It is.
And
and
we're going to have to we're going to step it up, and like all of these little small, like Ben Shapiro, for example, he's trying to make movies. People like that. I don't know how good his movies will be.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
He's
that.
making the Gino Carano.
Yep. And people like that, but not just him, but all kinds of. But there's been all kinds of little movies made. I'm trying to think of the guys. Hang on, just a second here. Oh, crap!
While he's looking for that, you stepped on something, especially I think that comes out when it comes to '80s movies, and that is practical effects.
Yes,
that was the time right there. I was excited when they announced the upcoming Gremlins 3, and they're saying that they're going to stick to practical effects.
Oh, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong.
They
You
do
can still
that.
use CGI with practical effects. It just depends on how you do it.
But I mean, you look at movies from the well, The Thing would be a prime example.
Yeah, there you go.
Practical effects, and those effects hold up today. Where movies made 10 years ago with CGI look horrible.
Yeah. Definitely.
There's something that just practical effects withstand the test of time if they're done right.
I will admit, though, when I watched The Thing, it was like because of the 4K, like the HDR and all that, you were able to tell that the practical effects were puppetry. Like you could actually tell. You could tell the blood wasn't the blood, and like the color grading just wasn't great for practical, if anything.
Yeah, I could see 4K going back and doing some films like that and really being able just to kind of, because they could get away with stuff by shadowing and just knowing that it wasn't going to be the best quality picture. But now we're going back and really crisping things up.
Oh yeah,
you're probably definitely going to be able to see some stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm curious to know how Criterion is going to be doing their physical 4Ks with their, mastering, that they're going to do for the discs. And like the one I would want to see the most out of the ones that are getting 4K releases is Menace to Society.
Oh yeah.
I would love to see how that turned out. And Criterion, I'm not going to lie, they're pretty fucking pricey.
Oh
yeah. Thank God for Barnes and Noble and the 50% off sale.
Right.
When I can spend $40-$50 on a good few titles, you know?
Yeah.
That's when I think Criterion needs to kind of like hold back on their, production a little bit, maybe, and just kind of realize that they're charging too much. Because I don't see why they charge so much. I really don't see the point in why they do that.
No, I don't either.
Know.
Same with Disney. They do that too, overpricing.
Disney,
oh, yeah.
Disney, that's across the board on anything Disney does. Movie, doesn't matter what they do, they overcharge.
I believe even special effects in the next probably 5 to 10 years will be in the hands of the people on the street. I believe people are already doing it, but I think the quality that's being put out by the studios will be able to. I think processing power will go up in computers, and you won't.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's going to be an app.
Because the stuff that I do. Yeah, well, yeah, no kidding. Because have you seen the new iPhone commercials, and that's what the new iPhone commercial is. It's like, here you have, Hollywood in your phone, and the whole commercial's about making a feature film with an iPhone.
Right.
Oh, I mean, but Soderbergh has been making his movies on iPhones lately.
Yeah.
What was the one that not Soderbergh? Was it Soderbergh? I know there was Tangerine was made that way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you could do with your phone nowadays.
Oh yeah.
And 20 years ago, you couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Kind of weird how
Less
fast
than-
technology is coming.
Less than 20 years. Been 15, really. Because I remember back in early 2000s, I remember wanting to get a Palm Pilot. And the Palm Pilots then, like that's about 2002 or around that time period, the Palm Pilots, they may have had Wi-Fi at that time. And I remember I was like, man, I want to get it. Like, it'd be cool to get a bar scanner, even though I had no reason to have one. But I was like, and now the phones, and now I was like, I wish they just made a phone. But back then I was like, I wish they just made a phone that looked like this. And
right.
a few years later, they made a phone that looked like this.
Excuse me.
Yeah. But
so Tim, do you happen to have a favorite film?
Don't answer that question.
Yeah, I know. Well, I like a lot of I grew up in the era of HBO and Cinemax and some of their late night movies.
Oh yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Night of the Comet and Chopping Mall and Private
Frankenhooker.
Frankenhooker and I like that kind of stuff. There's just I don't know. Like I said, Night Patrol with Linda Blair and
Elvira. Did you watch her at all?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. Because I used to watch. Yeah, because I used to watch her hosting movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Old school titles. So that was always fun to watch. And then of course Tales from the Crypt, kind of the same thing, but it's a demon introducing the show.
Yeah.
And then gives you like an outro, which is even cooler, and then his creepy ass laugh. I own the series. I don't know if you guys do, but
I've seen it. It's DVD only, right? Or is it Blu-ray
it's only
now?
DVD. Yeah, it's not Blu-ray.
Okay.
I wish though, because that'd be nice.
Yeah, I've become a stickler. If it's not Blu-ray, I'm not getting it yet.
Well, do you have Quantum Leap? Because that's on Blu-ray.
Yes, I do. I love that. Yes, I got that box set. It's awesome.
Oh, I love it. It was way better than the DVD one they had because I had that. And
do you?
I gave it to my mom.
There's a UK box set for Blu-ray, and it's huge.
Really?
I kind of want it, but I don't really know if I got the space for it.
What is that?
It's
Tales from the Crypt.
No, the Quantum Leap. It's literally a huge box.
Yeah. I mean, because Quantum Leap is one of my favorite shows. I have Murder, She Wrote. I wish that was on Blu-ray. What are you guys laughing at?
Nothing.
What, Murder, She Wrote? That's a badass show. What are you talking about?
No,
Right,
Angela
that's the Golden Girls.
Lansbury?
What are y'all talking about, man?
Yeah. Right.
No, I mean, I probably I remember watching all that stuff when it was airing, so I don't.
Magnum P.I.
Yeah.
Miami Vice.
Magnum P.I. and stuff like that, not so much when it was airing, because I was probably a little bit, but I was kind of the youngest. I was probably only like 5 or 6, 7 years old when that was out. But I remember like Transformers. I remember the cartoons in that era.
Oh, I do too. Yep. Some of them I've actually forgotten. I was like, that existed, So there are some 80s cartoons that I'm actually blanking on their names right now because it's been so long. One of my favorites, but I think this one was more 90s than 80s, and it was Disney, but it was Gummy Bears.
Yeah.
I kind of remember
I think it was, I think it might have been 80s.
It could have been.
Late 80s, yeah. I'd have to look it up, are you sure? But I remember that show, yeah.
And Ninja Turtles came out late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Remember DuckTales and all that?
Oh, yeah.
DuckTales was awesome.
Tailspin.
I
Darkwing
love
Duck.
Tailspin. And Goof Troop was one of my favorites, even though that was 90s.
Animaniacs.
Oh, but that's...
Animaniacs. That's early 2000s, late?
That's Warner Brothers.
90s? Yeah.
Yeah, Animaniacs was 90s, that's for sure. What other cartoons? I don't know if you guys ever knew, but maybe you do, that with the 90s movies that came out, like The Mask of Ace Ventura or even Jumanji, they turned them into animated shows.
I remember that stuff, but I don't think I really watched them because I was a little bit older at that point. And
I saw like maybe one episode of each, and it just
they were never
not...
good. I mean, back then they used to make cartoons of everything. They made cartoons of Rambo and Toxic Avenger.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I mean, if it was a movie, they were making a cartoon of it.
Yeah.
I want the Toxic Avenger Blu-ray set that's out.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
They were selling the complete, like all the Toxic Avenger set. They were selling it on
Best Buy. I know
Hamilton Books had it for a while, and it was sold out by the time I tried to order it. So, but I have several. I actually have the Toxic Avenger in the green case, by itself, that comes from Troma. Yeah. I think they released several like that.
Yeah, I used to have the old DVD box set of that. That was a really nice box set, and I have all of them except for Part 3 on Blu-ray, because apparently the U.S. Part 3 is edited, and I don't know why. So you have to get it from overseas to get the original theatrical version.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
one of their movies one of Kaufman's movies at least that I wish they haven't released. I don't even know if there's even. I'm sure it's on DVD, but they haven't really released on Blu-ray. Is Surf Nazis Must Die?
I never heard of that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's I
remember that. Yep.
Yeah.
I know Surf Ninjas.
Surf Ninjas. Whoops.
That Surf Nazis Must Die. For some reason, I'm always reminded of the opening sequence in the. God, my memory's bad tonight. I apologize. It's bad in well, I apologize. There's
It's all good.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I'm drawing a blank tonight.
It's all good.
Surf Nazis Must Die does have a Blu-ray release.
Yes,
it does. American Blu-ray release.
Yes.
You have to get it through Troma, though, I assume.
I don't know. Let's see if I can get it on Amazon still.
Good luck.
No. Yeah, you try to go get it on Amazon, it shifts you to a different country.
Excuse me, my memory works like 20 seconds behind what it should, but it's the movie Top Secret. You guys familiar with that?
Oh, yeah.
There's an opening sequence in Top Secret where it's like Val Kilmer's character's he's like a pop star, but his song's like surfing. It's like it's like a surfing like CIA agent or something like that, but it's like his whole surfing number. Yeah, and I always think of that. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a fun movie if you guys never have seen that.
I like that. I like Val Kilmer though, for the most part.
Makes sense.
I still haven't watched that documentary.
That's another Zucker movie, David Zucker, which also did Naked Gun and Kentucky Fried Movie and Airplane.
That Val Kilmer doc is good.
Is it?
Yeah, it really is good.
The trailer looked amazing.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. I haven't seen it yet, though. It's on Prime, isn't it?
Yeah, it's free. Yeah, the Amazon released that one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Themselves. So, yeah, it's definitely worth a watch.
I wonder how he looks in the new Top Gun movie.
Yeah, I was wondering that, because when you see him in the doc, wow.
It's rough.
You're taken back.
I know. You feel so bad for him.
So I was glad to see him pop up in Jay and Silent Bob Reboot.
Right.
And the way Kevin Smith worked him in. The way he worked him in so he didn't have to talk.
Yeah. Or what was the guy's name? He was in Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. The brother. The older brother.
Coogan. What's Coogan?
Yeah, he was in the reboot.
Yep.
That was funny because that's how they, I think, established his name or something like that into that movie.
Kind of excited for Clerks 3 too. So.
That's right, because that is being
He's done.
made.
He's actually done. He wrapped on that.
It's finished.
Oh, they're done. Okay.
And he edits while he shoots, so it's literally edited as well.
Oh, wow. So it's just time for release then.
Yep. He said just put a couple finishing touches on it and it's ready to go.
Oh, nice. Whatever happened to Mall Brats?
He is still planning on making that. That's bopped back and forth. It was going to be a mini series, then it was going to be a movie, or it was going to be a movie, then it was going to be a mini series.
Mm-hmm.
It was originally going to be Twilight of the Mallrats.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the original working title, was Twilight of the Mallrats.
That's interesting, because I know that it was called Mall Brat.
Then it was Mallbrat. Yep.
Or something like that, but yeah. I didn't know what was going on with that, because I hadn't heard anything on it.
No, yeah, he still plans. Yeah, it was going to be a mini series, like a special 3-4 episode mini series.
Maybe with Netflix or something.
Yeah. And then
That'd
I
be
think
cool.
with the whole Masters of the Universe thing, that might have, because that kind of didn't do as well as people were thinking it would do.
Probably just
People-
didn't captivate people like they thought it was going to.
That, and you've got Kevin Smith and his sensibilities doing He-Man. I don't know. He doesn't really fit that genre.
It's stuff
Well,
that he
he-
grew
he,
up on, and I can
yeah.
understand that.
Oh, yeah, he has a love
didn't-
for it.
He didn't really grow up on He-Man. He, in fact, emphatically said he didn't like He-Man, and then he turned around and I have no interest in seeing the new
Oh, I haven't seen
his
it.
new stuff.
I haven't seen it yet either. I'm not sure if I'm gonna. I just know that I haven't.
I'm gonna give you what I've seen. I've seen the first half. It's going to be 2 halves. There's going to be an additional 5 episodes. I'm not going to review it and get ahead of myself and then have to backtrack before seeing the final 5 episodes.
Yeah.
But what's been done in the first episode is a bunch of bull. But
Yeah.
that's all I say. I'll get into.
What they did with
And he, you know, Kevin Smith's one of the reasons why I probably got into watching independent movies for sure. Got me into that whole realm of stuff when I was younger. It probably got me into watching movies the way I ever did. But you know, he's went off the Hollywood rails here lately, and you know, he can basically go F himself. You know.
Yeah.
We're gonna get Kevin Smith fans very angry at us right now.
Yeah.
I love
They
Kevin
can-
Smith.
You can
This guy.
Kevin Smith forever.
That guy.
That guy.
That guy. I don't know what you want me to do.
Yeah, there you go.
Here, just yell at him. Yell at him.
That's turned down for what?
This is pro-
I just want to, but I just want to see good storytelling in Hollywood. I'm tired of them doing remakes of everything, and then on top of remaking, they're retcon. You know, they're changing characters. If you want certain type of characters write your own damn characters and make them and build those characters up. Don't change characters that are already established. Please.
Yeah. And now they
They won't
announced
listen,
redoing Lost
but-
Boys.
They're what?
They're
I
they're
saw that.
rebooting Lost Boys.
Oy.
They reboot.
They've already
everything.
got 2 people casted. Yeah, they got 2 characters casted.
I don't know
Yep.
how I feel about that.
Yeah, I don't. Just leave that movie alone.
I mean,
If you're
because
gonna
I've seen,
remake the crap movies that were horrible the first time they came out. Lost Boys is kind of a classic for the 80s.
It
I
really
mean,
is. It
it
really is.
is. It's
It'd
it's
be like remaking The
iconic.
Breakfast Club.
Oh hell no!
I mean, if you want to remake
That one
crap
should
movies,
not
fine.
be touched.
But there were rumors going around it was going to happen. Luckily, that it never did. But
Yeah,
Well,
there
that's-
was talks of it, but I think they stopped because they couldn't come up with a really good story.
right,
Hmm.
and really, that's kind of one of the magic in a bottle type movies. You really couldn't make that now and have it have the same effect and the same appeal.
I just find it
My-
funny that they say movies or TV shows that came out, like say from 80s, 90s, or even further than that, where they say, "Oh, we couldn't have made those today." Bullshit. Yes, you could. I think we can get away with more shit now than we did before.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things I don't think you could, like the old movie Soul Man with C. Thomas Howell, where he took tanning pills to make himself a minority,
that
so
one.
he could, yeah, that one I don't think you could pull off now.
Well, I
might-
mean, I think you could, because it's supposed to be stepping into someone's shoes.
Yeah, well, you get away with if it's the vice versa. If it was somebody taking pills to become white, you get away with it. You couldn't go the other direction.
Yeah.
Not to be blunt, but
no.
Oh, that was very blunt.
That deserves something. Hang on. There you go.
I'm sorry. I'm just kind of critical about stuff like this, but I try not to bring it into it. That's why I'm trying to be vague about some of the things I'm saying. But
Understood. But
no,
yeah,
there's just things that don't need to be remade. They remade Straw Dogs. I mean, that's a classic Peck and Paul movie, a great movie. Dustin Hoffman, I mean, amazing movie. They remade that. Like, why? Or Red Dawn.
That
was just and remade not well.
And Point Break was also a remake.
And horribly done. Yeah, well, it's like one of the YouTubers I do watch, Cody Leach, he said that he disagrees with the idea somehow that remakes ruin the original when people say that, which I agree with that. I don't know how, like he said, the remake of Point Break ruins the original Point Break. They're two separate movies, but there is a very much a lack of original ideas in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny how they think that they may not have original ideas anymore, and it's like, well, how about talk to the fucking folks that walk on your street?
Again, it boils down to
someone.
They're afraid to make an original idea because they're worried about the bottom line. They're worried about, they're worried about a lot of. I mean, they're trying to cash in on. Oh, this movie made money the first time, so we'll cash in on the, the people who saw the original love that. We'll get new people. And
they're trying
you end up isolating people.
They're trying to cash in on the audience of that certain IP, and the problem is they're just pissing off those fans, the people that's actually would have given you money if you may have done it correctly,
right,
or if you
And what I was gonna say is that I wouldn't necessarily mind remakes if it was done properly. And even maybe had the original, like say director, people on the first film to kind of get their idea on it. Even if they're not like say on the project itself, but to like pick their minds. So to speak.
Like when they remade Evil Dead. They had Sam Raimi in on that.
Yeah.
They had
Yeah, like when I forget his name, Colin something, but he directed the first Jurassic World and I think the third one now too, actually. Steven Spielberg was actually on set as producer.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like, why not be a part of something you helped create, Yeah,
to kind of make sure it fits what you were trying to do in the first place.
I'm a little upset with James Cameron because he said that Terminator Dark Fate was going to be, basically another hit. But
it was supposed to be like Terminator 3, right? Because didn't it just?
It was supposed to, in a way,
erase everything after 2, right?
Basically, and to me, they could have done better, in my opinion. To me, they could have had Edward Furlong actually be in the film, all grown up, fighting with his mom, in the war and this and that. Still have that other Terminator girl or whatever she is. Come from the past, kind of do the same thing to where Edward's helping the future.
And if you're going to kill him off, make his death mean something.
Exactly, because they didn't do anything with it. They just had him in a brief cameo.
I said, they had him standing there and then dead.
Exactly. And that was such a disappointment.
Because he's so iconic and so important to the story, have his death mean something. Kind of like I'm hoping they do with Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween.
Yeah, because I heard, I don't know if it's this one or the next one that she's supposed to have her life taken or something like that.
Right, which is if it means something in the story. If they just kill her off like they did in the other ones, Resurrection?
I was about to say, didn't they kill her off in one of the old ones?
Yeah, and it was literally like she was there, he stabbed her, dropped her from the roof.
Yeah,
it was the worst. It was the worst kill. It was so disappointing. I was like, you survived all that time, and that's how you're going to go out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. If you're going to kill her, have her death means saving her granddaughter or something, but have it a purpose to it.
I would love for it to be in the third one and have she's the reason that Michael died. Like they die together.
Yes. And it's possible that might be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if they kill her off in 2, it's anticlimactic at that point. It's like, really?
Yeah, it'd have to be a hell of a cliffhanger for me to come back to the third one if she's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. And then you go like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what? Like a total mind fuck is what I would call it.
Yeah.
But damn, I mean, I like Jamie Lee Curtis. I've always liked her, and she's done a lot of movies. And Halloween is her most iconic film. I would say second to that is True Lies.
Yeah.
I would say those are her top 2 films, in my opinion, that are most iconic of her. Personally.
Yeah, I can even go back to her aerobics movie with her and John Travolta.
Oh yeah, her and John Travolta.
That's right.
That.
And wasn't she in? I think it was Trading Places. Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah. Yep.
Eddie Murphy. Yeah. She was a hottie. I'm not gonna lie. She was.
Yeah.
Damn.
No.
Especially in True Lies, like when she had that little striptease scene, I was like, and I'm a kid barely hitting puberty. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm glad I'm old enough to see this now, in a way.
Yeah, she looked good in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
And Jamie Lee Curtis, she's just awesome in general. I mean, like, she tries to help people. She tries to help out with the world, this and that. Of course, she's very vocal on her views as well. And her and Susan Sarandon.
Yep.
I thought that was actually a funny movie with them.
She had a streak there where she was in a lot of good movies.
Did you guys ever see the one that she did with Amy Schumer? Is that her last name?
Yeah.
The comedian?
That is a person, yes.
I wanted to make sure that was the right last name.
Yeah.
Okay. The movie she did with Goldie Hawn called Snatched.
Yep.
Or, wait, was it called Snatched? I think it was called Snatched.
I think it was.
I didn't see it.
Well, to me, it was funny as hell. So they played off each other really well in that movie. She even told Goldie Hawn herself on Ellen, I believe it was, the show Ellen, that she kind of wishes she came from Goldie Hawn's vagina.
Amy Schumer.
That pretty much sums up Amy Schumer's humor, though. That's
her dirty mind.
I used to think she was funny, but she just became the vagina.
The vagina monologue.
Yeah.
Vagina comedian. I like that. Hang on. There we go.
I know. Now introducing the new comedian, Vagina.
Woo!
Good.
That's great. That's nice. I like that. Yeah.
But GCat pointed this movie out to me other day. This is an 80s movie you're probably familiar with.
Yes.
What does that one say?
Hiding Out.
Oh,
Hiding Out. I don't think I know that one.
John Cryer.
Look,
he's got it too,
adorable.
John.
Yep. Nice.
Are both of y'all sealed? Was it both those sealed?
Yeah, I haven't opened it yet.
I seal mine after I watch them. I seal them back up.
There you go.
Bags.
Oh, the
I picked
protectors.
this one up too.
Yep.
You should see the type of protectors that Jody has.
But this has got Dirk Benedict, Tanya Roberts. Dirk Benedict was Face Man and at the A-Team. Or Face.
Oh,
I like calling him Face Man because he's actually presented in the early episodes. I think they just kind of shortened it to Face, but
Yeah, I was gonna say, I started buying the hard plastic
ones.
cases.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's what I got all my stuff in.
Yep, that's what I started doing.
I happen to have the other thing that's the plastic wrap.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yes, I gotta pick that one up.
What is that
Better
one?
Off Dead. One Crazy Summer.
One Crazy Summer. That's a great film.
Yeah.
I think I know that one.
Yeah.
You know
was
what we
that?
need on what we need on Blu-ray is Weekend at Bernie's 2. What's
Oh
up?
yes,
Why
because
is
the
that
first
not
one
out?
hasn't. But yeah, why?
Yes. Where's
Is
the
it out
second
yet?
one? No.
Yeah, there's no, not on Blu-ray. Yeah.
DVD, yes,
see,
but not
let's see if
Blu-ray.
anything's ever been announced. But the last I looked, it was not
Why?
out.
Why not
Hopefully Mill Creek will do that.
restore? Why did they
Yeah.
just not restore both of those together and put
I
them?
know,
together?
right?
Because
Yeah,
you
it
know,
should have been like a
And
combo.
it could have been
Blu-ray.
a licensing issue. That's probably why, like Coraline and those other movies, didn't get 4Ks like a lot of people thought. And same with Legend, because Legend was supposed to have a physical 4K, and I go to this site and I forget the name of it, but it said in the description that the reason why it's not a physical 4K is due to licensing issues and rights.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that sucks.
Trying to
But-
figure out who has the rights to that.
To Legend?
No. I'm still on Weekend at Bernie's 2. I'm sorry. I'm hung up on this right now. I got to figure this out.
So Tim, what's your favorite '80s movie?
Like I said,
One of your favorites. I know you got asked favorite movie earlier, but
Oh yeah, I mean it's so tough to say though. Probably the one I watched the most would be Night of the Comet.
Oh, I think I know. Yeah, I think I know that one.
Yeah,
That's the one where like demons or something, right?
it's the comet comes by and turns some people to dust, some people to zombies. and a
Yes,
few people stay normal. Yeah,
that's right.
Nice.
yeah, it's
That
got a
one-
Shout Factory release. I picked that up. That's nice. I like
Nice.
The Last Starfighter.
Yes.
one of my favorites of the '80s is Buckaroo Banzai.
Yes, I think I just picked up two. I got so many, I can't remember what I picked up.
I just love 80s movies in general. To me, that one's kind of a hard one to really like say which one's the best one, so to speak.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
the one you
you know-
say you watch the most, because you feel like you watch them all the same amount of time. you know?
I mean, there's a lot of obvious things in the '80s that are definitely like great movies. Back to the Future,
Yo,
Gremlins,
yeah.
you
I
know,
mean-
all Ghostbusters,
Breakfast
all the
Club,
typical
Ghostbusters.
stuff. But
You're more
It's-
pop culture famous 80s.
Yeah.
but discovering the stuff that kind of got overshadowed because of those movies, that's what's fun finding in the '80s. Because I just watched I watched a channel today. They were talking about the Transformers movie.
Uh-huh.
And they're talking about when the Transformers movie come out, all the movies that were released that year, it did, it obviously was a box office failure and all that. For
Oh yeah,
obvious
the movie
reasons.
was, yeah.
Yeah, but all the movies that came out in like '86 when it came out, it didn't have any chance anyway. I think Top Gun came out that year. Top Gun came out and like all kinds of stuff.
You said 86?
Yeah,
I think that's the same year that Legend came out too.
may have been.
I think it was.
I thought
86.
Legend was earlier, but I
was
don't know. I don't
If
know.
it was, it probably was around the mid part, like 85,
Yeah.
86.
Yeah.
I know that Beetlejuice was 88.
Oh, I just ordered a documentary on the Garbage Pail Kids. It's called the Garbage Pail Kids 30 Years or something like that.
Huh.
And
nice.
I didn't know about it. I was watching another site today, and they were talking about it. They actually said it was on Prime, but I went there and they had it on DVD, so I just ordered the DVD. So it should be interesting. It's supposed to be like a pretty thorough documentary about the Garbage Pail Kids. So
Nice.
Shout did a really good release of that movie.
That's right. They released it on the Blu-ray, right?
Yeah.
well, this is a documentary, but yeah, I have that Blu-ray.
I don't have the
Well,
Blu-ray. I had the DVD
have it
because I
somewhere.
didn't know that I had one.
Yeah.
when I
If you
got it, so.
if you can find it with the slipcover still on it, the artwork is awesome.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
I'm
I probably could find it, but it might be pretty somewhat pricey.
I just picked that up at my local Dollar Tree.
Nice.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
that one?
Gray Skull.
Oh,
That's
Nice.
pretty cool.
Oh,
Ooh, excuse me.
Really nice.
look out.
Yeah, I know. I've been burping throughout this whole freaking thing.
There it is. There's the cover they went with.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen the cover. Yes,
Yeah.
and I want it to replace the DVD that I have,
Yeah.
but And it's funny because I actually got a Funko Pop of Alligator.
Yeah, I saw some of those. I saw like Target's got some exclusive and Walmart's got some exclusives. I was like, heck yeah, this is cool.
Oh, guess what? Guess what's coming though? And you can pre-order them now, from what I understand, through like a GameStop. If you have a GameStop near you guys.
I got so
It's
many.
the Ninja Turtles Secret of the Ooze Funkos.
Oh yeah?
All the turtles, Shredder, Toga, Razor. I think that was it.
That's cool.
I think that was, yeah, just the turtles and basically the bad guys, Shredder and Toga and Razor.
Cool.
I'd have to double check on that, but I know you guys are fans of Ninja Turtles, so that just reminded me. So, but yeah, you can do a lot of pre-ordering with a GameStop.
Yeah,
it's cool, but the problem, I know I have a few Funkos behind me here, but that's all. I just don't have much interest in collecting them because they're. If you get a bunch of them, it's like, what the heck do you do with them? I mean, if you get a serious amount of them,
yeah.
But because you really only want to leave them because they're best left in the box, because if you take them out, then
lose value.
Well, I don't care about that part of it because I take all my toys out of the boxes, but
I stopped.
It's just they're more easily stored left in the box because you can stack them, but they take up more room. But if you take them out of the box, I've went through this before, but it's just I just don't have interest. But more power to you if you like them, because I know a lot of people like them. A lot of people collect them.
I mean, I like Funkos, but I'm not like, say, a hardcore Funko person. I only collect the ones that I deem cool, in my opinion.
Yeah.
From like iconic 80s movies or TV shows or even games, whatever it may be that I find interesting. I'm just not going to be that person that goes out and buys all Funko.
No. Yeah, when I was buying them, it was strictly just like movie based, especially like horror based. I bought a few music ones, but I've sold the only ones that's brought a profit that I flipped were the music ones.
Oh yeah.
That was ridiculous.
Well, the ones that I have are Tom Hanks and Big.
Oh, I've seen that.
I have that. Yeah, that was a Target exclusive, I think.
I saw the Zoltar. I was like, oh,
you did?
That'd be, yeah. I was like, that'd be cool to have.
I didn't see that. They only had Tom Hanks, and it's with his suit that he wears at that dinner. The business dinner.
Yeah.
I also have the Slipknot, the 3 members that they only did because they didn't do the whole band. They just did 3 members. I have the Sanderson sisters. I recently got a Gremlin right behind me here.
There you go.
Maybe.
There you go.
The movie theater guy. Or 3D glasses, whatever you want to say. But... oh, that was hurting my back. Things I do for you.
Right?
But, yeah, I mean, just my back wall alone, I have, like, my Scooby-Doo Complete series. I have, like, Coraline stuff. I have Donnie Darko next to me. I have a Pennywise. I have another Gremlin that are NECA. I've got like a Mario Kart figure. And if you guys remember the old British show, Mr. Bean.
Yep.
I got his little toy car right here on the side of me.
This is what I was trying to think of earlier. I couldn't find it because I thought the cover was different, but I was looking over it, but I don't know if you remember this YouTube channel. I don't know if he's still doing anything. I don't see anything new coming up, but you guys might.
Yep, I remember AVGN. I watched him for a little bit.
But he made a movie. That's what I was talking about earlier. He made a movie at one time, the Angry Video Game Nerd movie. Or something like
Jody, didn't you say you were a part of like a project where they were talking to collectors or something like that?
Yeah. It was. Where did I put that? Man, I have it. Where'd it go?
Oh, there it is.
I found it. Yeah, it was Movie Hoarders is what it turned into. It's like a little documentary.
Yeah.
That they put out, and they got a lot of collectors in on it, and Yeah,
I understand that. Yeah, you said you were part of it, and then I heard that the guy who films at home was in it. I think Cool Duder, Sean C. Phillips, him.
Yeah,
I think he's in it.
there was a lot more than I anticipated because I noticed when it finally dropped and people were able to purchase it, a lot of fellow collectors on Instagram were posting about it. I was like, hey, I'm in that too. They're like, yeah, I saw you. I was like, well, look at that shit. Look at that.
Well, what did you do in it?
It was literally the guy that directed it sent out a list of questions, and you just kind of had to sit as if you were being interviewed.
Oh, with him,
and just answer the questions, stories, and whatnot. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I have not watched this yet, so I don't know how much of me is actually in it.
I'm surprised you haven't watched it.
I answered a lot of questions, and so I don't know how many of those actually got put in there. And then I think at least the guy that gave me the contact wanted a kind of a tour of your collection too. I don't know if they used but that was so long ago. That was with my old shelves. So if my collection is in there, it's the old version. So it's. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I'm anxious.
I actually pre-ordered that like a while back when they announced it was coming out, and then it just like disappeared out of my cart on
through where?
Amazon.
Really?
Yep.
It was
That's weird.
And I never received it.
I actually picked it up and watched it.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
How much am I in?
It was out of print for a long time. They don't spend a lot of time with any one person.
Okay.
They kind of bop around a lot. A lot of things I've seen say, I mean, I enjoyed it, but a lot of people are critical of it because it's almost like they just let people talk about their collection without really kind of delving into why they collect or things like that.
And see,
like, for a lot of people, it's like, look at my collection.
That's weird because a lot of the questions were a little personal, like why, like what got you into this, and like, so I really dove in hard on some of those answers.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but I mean, there are some people who have said that it's like watching a YouTube channel of people. Just
okay.
Basically, like a collage of collectors just saying, like, or at least answering the questions that they were, given.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, that's what documentaries do. But I mean, of course, I've never seen it, so I don't know.
I liked it.
I don't know if I don't even know if it's available anymore now. But
I know I got mine through Grindhouse. That's how I got mine, and I think I saw it on Amazon not too long ago, but that was after I'd already gotten mine. So,
what is it called again? Movie Hoarders?
Yes.
No. Okay.
And it's just DVD. There's no Blu-ray of it. It's just
I would have to look it up again. It may just something happened to my payment or something. It did because I switched payment cards back in a couple months ago, and it kind of screwed some stuff up. It may have just disappeared because of that, but I thought I'd ordered it after that point. But so Tim, what kind of stuff are you looking forward to coming out, or looking forward to getting here in the future,
or hope for?
I have the Regal. Yeah. I have the Regal Pass, so we see a lot. I've seen 27 movies in the theater at this point so far since May. As far as theater movies, I'm really looking forward to the new Halloween.
Yeah.
Venom looks like it might be actually pretty decent.
I hear the ending credit is going to piss people off.
I heard it was going to make people excited.
Well, Geek Gab said it's going to upset a lot of people.
Really?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I've been hearing that when people
tweeted it. I don't think he posted it on Instagram because I follow him on Twitter as well.
I wonder. I wonder if he meant that because it's going around that it's basically saying, "Hey, Spider-Man's here too." But so I wonder if he said it's going to piss people off because that's not what it is. And that's just a rumor that's gotten out of control.
Probably. Because I know 3C Films, the guy that I watch for movie news, basically, he was talking about like how Andy Serkis, who directed it, said that eventually, yes, Spider-Man and Venom will be together. But he's not saying that it's happening now or if it's happening later. Or he's not saying anything to give anything away, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, I know No Way Home is the last official Spider-Man MCU movie at this point, so
Ooh, excuse me.
maybe that's what brings him back.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
Sony's old.
I'm
I
looking
mean-
for the Ghostbusters. That's what I'm looking
Oh,
for. too.
Afterlife.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I am
No.
definitely looking forward.
I'm
to
hearing.
Never- yes, with. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. You go ahead.
No, I'm hearing good things. No, I wasn't excited when I saw the very first trailer, the teaser trailer, but
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
as the teaser trailers have gone along, I'm like, all right, now I'm in.
Yeah.
They really look like they captured the original, the
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
of
Well,
the original.
from what it looks like, it's basically kind of rehashing the first movie in a sense
Yeah.
because they're bringing back Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, but in the little marshmallow form, like it's
Yep.
actually supposed to be in the movie. It wasn't an advertisement, apparently. And then Zool, the god, is
Yeah.
coming back.
Yep, yeah, because in the one you can see in the one clip they have the dogs back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one
Yeah.
dog coming out of the so
And a Slimer wannabe, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah.
I am kind of anxious to see like what other like ghosts, demons, whatever they put in there. I'm wondering if any of them make like another like cameo from previous films, you know?
mm-hmm.
Because that'd be fun. Like actually
bring-
seeing Slimer again.
Bring back the librarian for no damn reason at all.
Oh, the librarian.
Yeah. That always scared the piss out of me when I was a kid.
Oh
Yeah.
God! The first time I saw that, yeah, it freaked me out. I didn't get scared, but it definitely freaked me out
Yeah.
because I was a kid, of course.
Right.
Well, that special effect that they use, like it's just kind of creepy because that's a similar special effect that they use in Frighteners.
Oh yeah.
that-
Oh yeah.
to get that ghost effect, and it's kind of creepy. Anyways, by itself, no, without it like morphing into this
Yeah.
fucking creature, you know.
And it's funny you mentioned Frighteners because it was either supposed to be like sometime late this year, but maybe early next year that the U.S. will be getting a 4K.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah,
And Hellraiser. Yeah, I've heard those. Princess Bride, I'm a little disappointed, and Neverending Story because those were supposed to be U.S. but didn't, and just came Germany, even though it still shows U.S. on it, which I didn't understand.
I think Neverending Story, I think, is supposed to come out in the early part of next year for us.
Oh, so it's still coming. It just didn't come out like people thought in the summer.
I think originally I heard it was supposed to be close to Christmas, but now I'm hearing possibly February or March.
Okay. Yeah, that's one I definitely would love to get on the 4K.
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
Oh, yeah, one of my favorites. And there you go, practical effects again. Look how well that movie was.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like one of the best practical effect movies ever, in my opinion. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, they had their CGI moments or whatever, but for the most part, it was all practical,
Mm-hmm.
which is awesome. And you don't see much of that anymore at all. It's just all computer.
Do you ever come across the pictures of what Falcor looks like now? He's just all like, just gross, and they like he's still around, but he's just falling apart.
Oh, you
seen
mean
that?
the actual
The actual
thing?
puppet, yeah, the actual
Yeah.
giant puppet. It's sad.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, guy.
Yeah.
I say, well, at least it's not the one from part 3 because that would look awful.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I'm looking forward to Lost Boys as well coming to 4K.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've always been wanting is the classic 80s movies to get, 4Ks. And I know that the Breakfast Club may never get an actual 4K, but they have technically a 4K through Criterion because they sell it and it's a 4K scan from what I understand. And what was another one that had a 4K scan?
I would imagine that Criterion will probably start re-releasing everything in 4K since they already have
Possibly.
the scans. They already have the scans for all their stuff,
Yeah.
and if they start releasing 4K, then they will.
They take
I'm just there's some things I'm just not gonna. I'm sorry, Tim. You're kind of really low now since you put your headset on, so that's why we keep stepping on you a little bit. Yeah.
All right, I'll try to fix that. Sorry about that. See if I can't fix my other headphones. But no, I mean, Yeah, I mean, depending how the sales go for the 4K
There you
releases, where they got Citizen Kane.
No, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, does any? But see if I can
Like, I would love to see Harold and Maude get a 4K.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, there's just some things I don't know how much better they're really going to look. I mean, they will if they're done correctly. But I mean, some movies, the movie itself is, having the movie itself is the whole experience.
I mean, some movies, I don't know if they need to be a 4K, like Bridget Jones's Diary. I mean,
Yeah.
really? We need a 4K
Yeah.
of?
Right.
I can but I think it's because they do want to try to entice the female audience
Right.
as well.
But some movies you just see and you're like, okay, sure. Puppet Master.
Puppet Master, there you go. That deserves a 4K.
The original, not that Third Reich or First Reich one that they did.
No.
No.
Not all of them need to have a 4K, but there is a Puppet Master 4K. But it's like an add-on to all the other movies that they did, basically.
Oh, okay.
But it's the only one that got a 4K, surprisingly.
And then you see like what? Rocky 4 is getting a 4K.
I know. Why didn't the others?
The original.
Exactly. So weird. I mean, shit, a lot of titles get pushed back. Like Heat was supposed to be out already.
That's been canceled a couple of times now. Or moved.
Well, it's not canceled. It just keeps getting pushed back. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that Gravity is canceled. It's not canceled. It's just delayed.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Because they're having a hard time on an agreement with the, with the director and stuff like that to get it perfect for the audience.
Yeah, you wonder about that considering Cameron's supposed to have approval over everything, and Terminator 2 has got one of the worst 4K scans
He
ever.
didn't have a hand in that, from what I understand.
Oh, I heard he did. Okay. I stand corrected. But yeah, I mean, that's why we don't have a release of True Lies.
Yeah.
Because he won't.
I thought he would. Well, I know that first Terminator 2 didn't have any kind of approval over it, but I thought he had stepped in and said, "I'm not releasing anything in 4K unless I have approval from now on."
I think that's why, because Terminator 2 turned out like shit. And then I bet that's what made him tell the studios, hey, unless I'm there to approve it, don't touch my shit.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that's because now they're re-releasing Terminator 2, but it's still using the exact same scan.
Yeah, that's what I read, is that it is the same exact one, just a re-release.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if he actually has any, that might be the one he has zero power over, the way they keep, because that thing's got, 20 releases over Blu-ray, DVD.
It's got a lot of releases, yeah.
That thing's got a ton of releases.
Did they make it official that the U.S. release coming out is just the same scan? I know the UK said that theirs is just the same.
I'll have to
T2.
share the link with you of the website that I'm talking about, because it has the info. Like, it'll say the name of the title of the movie, and then it'll say like whether it's going to be US, UK, Germany, or only Germany, or whatever it may be.
Right.
And then it has like info underneath it of what if it's going to be a native 4K or an upscale or whatever it may be. And when I read the Terminator 2 one, it said, sadly, it is not a remaster. It's going to be the same one that's already out.
For everybody?
For everybody.
Okay, that's sad. Okay.
Because I know Geek Gab was going to, wait to find out on that, but I guess he never said anything, so.
Yeah. Yeah, because
that's probably why he didn't say anything, because he knew that people would be pissed.
Yeah, Best Buy is getting an amazing steelbook for it whenever it comes up for pre-order.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, it's good. It looks awesome. The artwork on it is crazy.
I want to get the other Mad Max films, that's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I have Fury Road and I have the first one both on 4K, but now that Beyond Thunderdome and I think Road Warrior, right? Or is that the first one?
Those are the two coming.
Those
Road
are the
Warrior
two.
was the first one. Yes.
Well, one's called Beyond Thunderdome, and then there was just I can't remember.
Beyond Thunderdome is the third one. Road Warrior is the second one. Mad Max is the first one.
Okay.
And then Fury Road is the fourth one.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's funny, when I told Geek Gab about the anthology set possibly coming, he was almost sure they weren't going to do that again. He was almost positive they weren't going to do that again. And then when I showed him that it was confirmed, he was like, well, shit, you know.
Right.
And then, of course, Harry Potter getting another re-release of all the 8 films in a train cart.
Yes. I saw that.
I mean, it's cool, but...
Yeah, but practical, not so much.
Yeah, right.
Tessa Teets here. As Best Buy has a lot of nice steelbooks coming out soon for movies.
Yes, they do.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And Tessa, I've seen you in here before. I popped up here, but we've been talking quite a bit, so I didn't get to call you out before.
Sorry.
Thanks for joining the chat this evening.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Hang on, wait. There we go.
Oh, there you go.
There it is.
I'm personally hoping they release the Brosnan Bond films on 4K.
Oh, Pierce Brosnan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yes.
That's
GoldenEye.
kind of my favorite section of Bond. I like Brosnan's. The Brosnan
I was about to say,
years.
he kind of became my favorite Bond, honestly.
Yeah.
His movies were really kind of light and fun. They
didn't like, they weren't like meant to be serious or anything like that. And I mean, Sean Connery before him, and what the hell is that other actor's name?
Roger Moore.
Thank you, Roger Moore.
Yeah.
So Sean Connery, he was awesome. Don't get me wrong. Roger Moore did an amazing job. Pierce Brosnan, in my opinion, was the best.
But yeah, I like the way they took the Bond and turned it so it fit his style.
Oh
They
yeah.
didn't try to make it that his movies were a little bit lighter, a little bit more humor involved, one-liners.
I'll be the first to admit that I have not seen the Daniel Craig ones.
I'm about to go see No Time to Die when it comes out, but
Oh, the last one, that
Yeah.
he's supposed to be doing. Yeah,
The last
but
one.
it did.
I'm scared. I'm scared for James Bond.
I know, because I heard
It's
they were
gonna-
going to try to make Bond into
It's going to be Janet
either,
Bond. No.
like a female, or they were going to just change the race color to black, because people wanted Idris Elba to play
Yeah, I
Bond.
saw that.
I just don't know how that.
No.
I honestly can't see him playing Bond.
So that girl in the movie, the black girl in the movie, she is a 007. She's not James Bond, but she is 007.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I think I haven't read any of the scripts. I don't do any of that stuff. But I'm pretty sure that James Bond, I think, might be like retired in the movie, at least the beginning of the movie, and he gets brought back into the fold. But she's like the 007 that's replaced.
It sounds like Indiana Jones. He starts off back home and then has to get pulled in to do another mission.
Right.
And then
Well,
he meets some whining bitch and falls in love with her.
Well, Phoebe Waller-Cates, she's the one that she's not only did she came in to write part of the new movie, the new James Bond movie.
Mm-hmm.
She's also either writing and starring in the new Indiana Jones, and I assume they're going to replace Indiana Jones with her. So that's what
I had heard that they were going to make her.
those are just rumors, but
Well, I know
Where's-
production is delayed because Harrison got injured on set already.
Again.
but
I know.
as far as
Almost
Phoebe
every movie he's
Waller-Cates
done, he's got
go,
injured in some way.
For
but as
real.
far as she goes, I'll have to see the James Bond. Hopefully, it's not a bunch of identity politics, but I'll have to see it first because the show that she did for HBO, I kind of liked. It's not bad, but who knows?
I'm wondering who. Out
But
of all of us,
she was brought in. Supposedly, she was quoted to being brought in to add that kind of politics to James Bond.
Oh, I was gonna say is I was curious to know. I'm kind of blanking now because I had it in my mind and now I'm blanking. Oh, what was the actor I was just thinking? Well, until it comes back, I'm sorry.
Well, while you're thinking there, I come off sounding like I don't want to see like women in movies or anything like that. No, I want to see strong female
remember.
leads, but I want to see new characters. I don't want to see race swap characters put in there of established IPs. If they wanted to develop their own characters and build those characters up, or make original characters that have good stories, that's fine. I don't care if you do have strong women leads. That's fine. That's awesome. But they're not doing that. They're like for Rey in Star Wars. She's just the bestest ever. She just can use the Force with no training. She's just the ultimate. She's just the ultimate badass with no training. She just for no reason, And that's how all these female characters are now. They're the bestest ever. I'm sorry, I'm stealing from Dictor Van Dooncock. But he says that. DVD? Have you never seen Dictor Van Dooncock?
No.
No, but I want to be his best friend right now.
Yeah. Well, it's like another YouTuber said. I can't remember who said it. That the problem right now is it's fine to have a message in your movie, but they're beating you over the head with it.
Yeah,
instead of making it a subtle message and just letting you pull from it what you pull, they're just jamming it right down your throat. Here's what what you need to learn.
As much as you want to put equality in movies, don't make it seem like that one is better than the other.
Right.
If you want equality, kind of like what John was talking about with Rey being the ultimate badass, so to speak, they could have done a little bit of training with her and stuff like that, which she did with Luke, but it wasn't long.
I think a lot of them, though, comes with the fact that when they made that trilogy, they had no idea where they were going. They had, and even J.J. Abrams had said they had no plan for anything.
Yeah.
They had where at least the other 6, they kind of had a start of where they wanted to finish. This one.
Well, George Lucas wrote, or he had the script wrote.
And they threw it away.
Part of his agreement, and they threw it away. Yeah.
Yep.
That sucks.
Yeah, he had it planned out for him. And they were like,
he in fact he was starting in production with it, and that's when he got offered the deal. And supposedly he tried to back out of the deal after he kind of seen what was coming, and Disney already had him over the barrel with the deal, and was like, basically, if you try to back out now, we're going to ruin you, and
we're going to sue you, basically.
Yeah, and he had no choice. And they basically went back on everything they had promised him, or I doubt any of it was actually in writing, but what they promised him about his treatment. And what I've seen some leaks of his treatment. It sounded very weird, but very interesting. They were going to basically do more exploration on the origin of the Metachlorians, and because the Metachlorians and all this stuff is like, it's basically like these creatures from another dimension who control the Force. And it was going to be all about that stuff. It sounded bizarre. It sounded like very David Lynch. I know I say that a lot on here, but it sounded something like David Lynch should have directed.
It's funny.
A Star Wars movie, but it sounded awesome to me. That's up my alley. That's sci-fi to me. Not,
Well, it's funny because out of Star Wars films, I know everybody liked Empire Strikes Back a lot. And then, of course, I watched The Mandalorian. I thought, like, out of all the films of Star Wars, and then including Mandalorian hit the head on the nail. Like, it was really good.
Yeah, they need to, with Star Wars, Disney needs to just promote Jon Favreau to a Kevin Feige type position. Let him handle Star Wars.
Yeah.
And let him handle it and how it gets laid out.
Yeah.
Like you said, he saved the Star Wars with The Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
So, and then let him take it over and run it.
But I remember my question now. It was, how do you guys feel about the actor Benedict Cumberbatch?
I like him.
Yeah, I absolutely.
You like him? Because I know some people don't like him, so I was just curious if you guys liked him or not.
What I've seen him in, I definitely like him.
I mean, it's funny. I think I like him better in interviews than watching him in movies.
Right.
Because he's funnier. He's a free spirit. He gets to, have fun. He does impressions, which is even funnier. And
Yeah.
And Tom Hiddleston. Like, I didn't like him as Loki in the movies, but when you watch him, like, on interviews and stuff, there's a presence. Yeah. You're like, he seems cool.
Yeah, I mean, and well, circle back. Kevin Smith is that type of. As long as I'm going to throw him out again. Watching
Yeah.
him do like his Q&As,
Oh yeah,
he tells incredible stories to stand up and talk about something.
yeah.
Sometimes he makes yoga hosers, and that's a whole other thing. But yeah, I mean, he's like that. You watch him do something like that, and you enjoy that.
Oh,
And like you said, the interviews, they just seem more personable. When they're on screen, they're kind of almost arrogant, but to hear them talk in an interview, it's like, oh, all right, he's funny, okay.
Yeah, definitely, because I know out of the Marvel movies, I would say the one that I liked the most was Doctor Strange. Out of all of them, Doctor Strange was my favorite one out of all the Marvel movies. And, of course, when the show Loki came out, I'm not going to lie, I was hesitant to watch it, because so many people were talking about it, and this and that or whatever. And I was afraid, like, am I going to hate it, And hell no, that was one of the best things they did. Shit you not. I mean, I don't know if Jody watched it or not, but you did? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Great show. It had me sucked in each episode.
Yeah.
Which one is that?
Loki is the show.
I've liked the shows. They've gone in different directions. WandaVision was different from anything that they had done. At least it was different. Where I think Marvel's getting to the point where I guess I've heard a lot of people, where they're almost carbon copied their stories.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially their origin stories.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would love to see more origin type of stuff for things that have not been done yet, so to speak. Both with Marvel, DC, maybe Star Wars, stuff that just hasn't been brought to the screen yet.
Oh, yeah. Especially something like Star Wars, where you've got
a
ton of source material you could delve into.
Oh yeah, like Knights of the Old Republic, you could totally visit that to a movie.
They shoot? When Disney came in, they shot all that down. They basically all the book series and all the stuff. They said that's not canon anymore.
But yet, I heard Mara Jade's coming to one of the shows. Can't remember. The Obi-Wan show, maybe. But Mara Jade is going to make an appearance.
Maybe.
They're probably still characters, but see, that's another thing Disney screwed up on. I mean, they had all that source material, and they just
Disney's not
ignored
really,
it.
Disney's look at how they're treated. Look, Scarlett Johansson's a prime example. Ask her what happens when you make a deal with Disney.
And not just her. There was someone else too. Who was it? There was someone else who was doing the same thing. And I'm forgetting that person's name. I think it was another girl.
Yeah.
I
forget who it was, but
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone for Cruella.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Which I watched, and I did enjoy that. That was actually done.
Cruella
very
was
well.
a lot better than I thought. I dreaded going to it.
I was surprised.
And I watch them like, all right, I see you. All right.
Now, what throws me off about Cruella, though, is that at the end of the movie, she's not necessarily a hateful person.
Right.
She's the one who gave both Anita and the guy she ends up marrying. I forget hit the character's name, but oh god, yeah, I forget his name. But anyway, they get the dogs from Cruella.
Yep.
As a present.
Well, maybe they'll explain that in the sequel, because they did sign her on for a sequel now.
Yeah, I heard that there is going to be a sequel. It's just, it's going to throw me off, because the cartoon, they made Cruella be older, and Anita was more of an assistant to Cruella at one point, and kind of like Emma Thompson's character being the older fashion person.
Right.
That's how Cruella was in the cartoon, the movie. And then we never knew why she hated dogs or anything like that in the cartoon. She just did. And then, with this one, they don't even explain like her hatred for dogs or anything like that. Now, I hear that they are going to try to incorporate the dogs that killed her mom kind of thing into it. But those dogs ended up loving her in the end.
Yeah, they ended up doing her dirty work at the end.
That's what I mean. Like, what the hell? They need to fix that story before I get all weird.
Yeah,
I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I will say though, if Emma, as of right now, sitting here, if Emma Stone doesn't get a nomination in the awards for her performance, she did a good job on her back. She carries that movie on her back. If she's not in that movie, it's not as good.
Well, and the Bandits, that's even weirder. Like how they were actually her like family, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But like again, the cartoon, nothing. Not even with the live action remake that they did with Jeff Daniels.
I remember Glenn Close. Yep, remember that one.
Yeah, like I hope with the sequel it explains everything. Because I mean, yeah. But I did enjoy the film. Regardless, I did enjoy it.
Yeah, that's something I'm probably picking up on 4K when it comes out because that was one of my favorite movies I've seen so far this year.
Yeah,
definitely one of the biggest surprises.
Did you ever watch the live-action Lady and the Tramp they have on Disney Plus?
I have not. I haven't heard anything good about it.
Oh, well, I watched it, and I can definitely tell you it's not as bad as a lot of people would think it would be.
Okay.
It's a little bit more practical, but yes, they do the CGI with the mouth and this and that or whatever. But it's not a musical, so there's no songs really sung in the movie or anything like that. So, and wait, Cruella was a musical, wasn't it? Or no? No, not Cruella. 101 Dalmatians. That's what I meant to say.
I think the animated first one was, yeah.
I don't remember a lot of singing. I just remember that one certain song, Cruella.
Yep.
That's the only one I remember from it.
I'll be back in just a second. I've got to go use the bathroom. I'll be.
Alrighty. Just us two.
All right. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. And then, well, let's see. What else did I see? Shang-Chi was good. I did enjoy that.
I heard that it was actually better than a lot of people were anticipating.
Yeah, the fight scenes in it are very well done. If you've seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon with some of the way they fight.
I have. It's
that kind of very fluid, very type fight.
Yeah, running on trees kind of shit.
You kind of, yeah. I enjoyed Black Widow as well, though. I mean, for what it was.
I'm not sure if I will like Black Widow, in all honesty, because I didn't really care for Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. Even though I like Scarlett Johansson, I just don't see her as Black Widow.
Well, I was going to say no. I mean, even there's certain actors and actresses, no matter how good they are, you're just like, miscast.
Well, yeah, and not only that, but I heard at one point, before Scarlett Johansson, they had their eye on Emily Blunt.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she would have done a great job.
I like Emily Blunt. I liked her in Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow, whatever you want to call that movie.
Oh, I know. It's either Oblivion or Live, Die, Repeat, whatever the fuck. Yeah.
Yep. She was really good in Jungle Cruise.
I haven't seen Jungle Cruise yet. I'm waiting for that to be free on Disney Plus to actually watch it.
That's a fun movie. It's not a good movie, but
I heard it was fun. Yeah, I heard it was fun.
But yeah, I like Emily Blunt.
Yeah, Emily Blunt. I like her in her movies. I know my mom didn't personally care for her portray of Mary Poppins.
Right.
I happen to like it, but I mean, it wasn't like say great, but it was good. Yeah. But what was I gonna say? But
yeah, Florence Pugh steals the movie from Scarlett Johansson. Steals Black Widow from her.
Yeah,
she really does. You can tell they're almost using that to set her up because she's going over to the Hawkeye series.
Mm-hmm.
So
see, I think I know what it is about Scarlett Johansson that I didn't like because she was in Iron Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I liked her in that one. But then after that, I didn't like her in the other ones. I think it might have just how they dressed her up and how they did her
changed
hair.
Her character.
Yeah.
So she wasn't. Yeah, there was something about her character from Iron Man 2 to her
to now.
Yeah, where they just changed her character.
Yeah, they did, in my opinion. Yeah, because I know that I liked her in the Iron Man 2. Mm-hmm. But then when it came to the Avengers and all the other movies that came out, I wasn't feeling her. And I like her as an actress. I really do. And same with Jeremy Renner. He's a hit and miss for me with movies.
Same.
there are certain movies that I like him in. There's some movies I don't like him in. I don't personally like him as Hawkeye.
Yeah, because I liked him in Wind River with him and Elizabeth Olsen. He was good when he was in Mission Impossible.
Yes, and he wasn't that bad with the Bourne. Yeah, Jason Bourne or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I actually have the movies behind me. I can look. Let me move these guys out of the way. Oh. Yeah, I actually. Oh wait, no, I grabbed the wrong one. That was the Fast and Furious set. I'm an idiot.
That's another series they've killed.
Okay, so Bourne Legacy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was good in that.
Yeah, Bourne Legacy right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I actually have the complete box set, so.
Oh, very nice.
The thing I didn't like about Black Widow was her character was just so not Black Widow. She was not. She
That's
didn't seem like she.
That's what I was just telling him. Actually,
I was because that's what I was just saying. Was that?
Well,
you watch Black Widow, and it's like they use that to set up the sister's character. Mm-hmm. And Black Widow was almost a second thought or an afterthought in that movie. Yeah. All the good lines went to the sister.
Yeah. It's definitely that. Disney seems to just want to rid the entire original Avengers. They don't want it. They're setting up the MCU, but
that's why they're happy about the multiverse, because they can kill off all the original characters, and if the MCU starts to drop, they can bring them back.
Right.
And use the multiverse as a way to bring them back.
Yeah, because what I was just telling.
And it's going to, because all the stuff they put out, everything has been crap so far. So.
Yeah, what I was just telling Tim was that with Scarlett Johansson's character as Black Widow, that the only time that I noticed that I actually did like her as Black Widow was in Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
And then after that, she just changed, and then I was like, I don't like her as Black Widow now.
She became like the Hulk's control device or something. Like they only used her to like kind of be like this control mechanism for the Hulk, especially in the Avengers movie. She didn't get a lot of screen time.
Kind of like how Silver Surfer had a connection with Jessica Alba's character in Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Where they have that certain like vibe. Don't talk about that.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
You didn't like those ones?
No.
I would call that a guilty pleasure. I did like those.
Yeah.
I mean, they were bad movies, but like you said, they're guilty pleasure movies. They were bad, but you could have fun with them.
Yes.
A movie can be bad as long as a movie knows it's bad and just has fun with the fact that it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than a movie that thinks it's Oscar material and it's just god awful.
I just recently watched a really bad movie with my son because he wanted to watch it. It's called Avalanche Sharks.
Yes. Came out about the time of Sharknadoes and that time.
It was the weirdest fucking movie ever.
Yeah.
I saw that it had potential if they had the right, like, say, people for effects and stuff like that. Like, it had potential to be a really cool movie. But since it was low budget... And
you could see where they just, like, pinned the shark thing and just CGI'd it across the top of the snow.
And not only that, but I mean, like, the way they killed them, the blood splatter, it's not realistic.
For me, I love the Sharknado movies, but... They knew what they were, and they just, this is what we are. We're bad, but enjoy.
Well, that's the kind of bad movies I like. They're definitely the ones that know they're bad. See, my problem with, I've always been a fan of Fantastic Four, and there's so much source material. There's no reason. It's just like the Green Lantern movie. In fact, I was just listening to, I follow Ethan Van Sciver, which is one of the writers. He was one of the writers for the Green Lantern. Not the movie. He was actually on the series with Jeff Johns, which and I didn't know this, but they actually came to Ethan Van Sciver first to write the movie, and they didn't even ask Jeff Johns. And he went to Jeff Johns and said, "Hey, did they ask you about doing this movie?" He's like, "No." And then he's like, "Well, I guess I better turn it down since we're kind of a duo." And then Jeff Johns got elevated to head of DC Comics, and he made the movie without him. And it doesn't make any sense because that series of comics is great, and they ignored all of it. It made no freaking sense, in the Green Lantern universe.
You know what I was thinking was using that app Cameo that I was trying to talk to Jody and you about earlier, but and possibly save up and get certain celebrities or whoever would be somewhat cheap enough to, do it, and have them say like, be sure to subscribe to Raging Entertainment or Stills Race 4Ks or Bucky Fried Movie Toy Collector, whatever it may be, and or something to say like, be sure to stay tuned for, Toy Cult of Collectors this week on Sunday or something like that,
Yeah. I say, what's Martinez, Jay Martinez, the other YouTuber that he got Tara Reid to do the promo to his.
Yeah, Joe Martinez.
Yeah, Joe Martinez. Joe got his. He got Tara Reid to do the opening to his.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I know that somebody you guys might know who he is. Brendan from What Movie One. I know Jody, you know who that is, but
I've been watching Brandon for a long time.
Yeah, because he's been creating since he used to work at Blockbuster when Blockbuster was still around, and he does out and about videos almost every week, and sometimes he'll do extra videos on the weekends or whatever. He's hanging out with friends. He'll even post videos where he's actually got to like meet Corey Feldman and Edward Furlong and actually get to like talk to them, like, and ask if is it okay if I give like a little short interview to you or something like that. Hell, he's met Kevin Smith like I think 3 to 4 times. Oh my God! And I think he's met Tommy Chong twice.
That'd be cool.
And he met Tara Reid because you mentioned Tara Reid.
Yeah.
He's met Tara Reid. He's actually like filmed hanging out with her, just kind of conversating with her, this and that or whatever. And boy, did she look washed up.
And she's not. She's not. You watch the opening 2 minute or so of Joe Martinez video and see her, and you're like, yeah, better years have definitely gone by.
Right.
Yeah.
But she had
Some people just don't age well. Some people just don't age well, and it's not because it's necessarily a bad thing. It's just how nature is sometimes.
Yep.
Like Chevy Chase, for example, he did not age well.
No. He has a TikTok now.
I think he's also on Cameo.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
I think he is.
Cocaine didn't treat Chevy well.
No, that'll get you every time.
And that's too bad because in the 80s he had some really good movies too.
Yeah.
Well, he had a lot of good movies in general. It was just I always heard the horror stories of what he was like on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And he was kind of a douchebag, basically.
Yeah, I have never heard anybody who's worked with him say he was anything but just a complete headache to work with. Complete egomaniac.
Well, didn't Bill Murray like kind of get in a fight with him on the set of Saturday Night Live?
Yep. Yeah, they got in a fist fight.
Because he got mad. Bill Murray got mad. See, Bill Murray basically came in to replace him, but he was mad at Chevy because Chevy just basically, he had a good thing going, and I think he was just mad that he would just left the show up and just left the show out of nowhere.
See, I didn't hear that story. I know that Bill Murray was there when Chevy was still there in general because he was doing the Weekend Update stuff.
Well, I don't know if he's there to replace Chevy exactly, but they got into it over something like him. They got into it because Chevy he was just up and leaving because Chevy left. Chevy was only there 1 year. He was there only the first year.
Huh? I felt like he was there longer than that, but
I think he was just there 1 year.
I love I love the old Saturday Night Live, like 70s, 80s, part of the 90s, but nowadays it's a hit and miss for Saturday Night Live for me now.
Well, it's just politics now, so.
It's a
some of it's funny, though. Some of it's fucking hilarious.
One-sided politics, though. That's not funny.
No. If you're going to do comedy, do both sides. then hey,
I know.
everything's
Yeah,
good.
when Obama came in, that's when they quit taking pics at the left side. They couldn't make fun of Obama. Wasn't allowed.
That's not true because they totally did. They've made fun of him. I mean, you had people doing impressions of him. You had The Rock playing The Rock Obama. You know, and
just that's funny. But yeah, I mean,
yeah.
And they just don't have the cast like they used to now.
No, I miss like Adam Sandler, Chris Farley, Rob Schneider. Hell, Chris Rock. He was both on In Living Color and then Saturday Night Live.
One of my favorites ever was Dana Carvey. He's probably one of the most talented people to.
He was one of my favorites for sure.
That Dana Carvey, Phil Hartman, John Lovitz.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That era was amazing.
John Lovitz cracks me up.
Yeah.
John Lovitz is just one of those types of people to where like he can almost make anything funny just by him talking.
But the era you were talking about, Charlie, that's another great era with that era was just right after the Carvey era, you know, because those guys like Sandler and those guys came in to kind of replace Carvey and Mike Myers and all those guys. They were the next, but they were good though. They were really good. And then some of the early 2000s were good too. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Bill Hader, I like him. I like Will Ferrell. Who else do I like? I think his name is Chris Kattan. With the movie Corky or something. Corky Romano. Yeah. And Night at the Roxbury. Sorry, I almost forgot about that one. Yeah. He's funny, you know, and I find it funny that like with Saturday Night Live, certain sketches got turned into movies, but yet say with other sketch comedy shows never happened.
Well, I liked I always liked Tina Fey and all that. I like Tina Fey pretty good, and Amy Poehler. They were funny.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean when I was saying like they didn't make fun of Obama, like I mean it was funny as heck whenever they made fun of when Tina Fey made fun of what's her name, the governor, Sarah Palin. Yeah, when they were doing that whole thing and run up to Obama's, that was funny because it was that was funny stuff. Because I mean they really derailed that. I mean they really did derail the that whole voting for him. I can't remember who was running. Who was he running? Who was she running with?
McCain.
McCain. Yes.
Yeah. They kind of derailed that.
And you know what?
It kind of deserved it too.
I was about to say because John McCain and Sarah Palin, they ended up going together, and it's funny if he would have won, she would have been the first female vice president. I think.
Yeah.
Not Kamala Harris, and it's funny because whenever somebody gets elected, I, of course, never hope for the worst. I always say, just do your best because that's what everybody wants, is just do your best. And don't badmouth the people. Don't disrespect your, country or any way, shape, or form. And it seems like every president is cleaning up a former president's mess in some capacity, but they put all that blame on that current president and forget about the history that has happened along with it.
Yeah.
Like when Trump took office, he was taking over, he was taking over what Obama had done wrong. And then Biden comes in, is trying to take over what Trump did wrong, and vice versa, all other presidents.
Yeah. Well, they've been doing that for years and years.
That's what I mean. It's been like that each president.
No.
Not all of them are innocent.
Yeah.
I mean, Ronald Reagan, he was a good president, don't get me wrong, but he was also governor of California before he became president.
Yeah.
And California at one point, which is where I live, at some point when Ronald Reagan was the governor, California was doing better. But then, of course, other governors came. Arnold kind of fucked it up for us, too, when he was our governor. And I think it might have been in Fresno, which is about an hour away from me. He was at one of those campaign rallies, and you see him get pegged by an egg.
Oh.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Sorry, Arnold.
It's the governor.
Did the person that
It's a
threw it yell, "It's not a tumor"? Because they really
No,
Not a
you don't
tumor.
hear anything. You just see him make. You know, I love him as an actor, but I did not like him as a politician.
That made no sense.
Well, Ronald Reagan, he was an actor first, and you know, governor, and then president.
Yeah.
But at least he actually tried to get shit done.
Yeah.
Oh, fun fact about Ronald Reagan. I found out that at one of his rallies that he was having, you hear someone shoot a gun as if they were trying to assassinate him. And he says in the mic, "You missed."
Yeah, I've seen that video.
See that?
And I was like, damn, he's got some balls on him. Like,
Well,
tell the guy, reload, fucker.
Well, Teddy Roosevelt did get shot.
Yes, a lot of
But
presidents.
he
got
wasn't.
shot.
He wasn't
Well,
president though. That's when he was. That was after he was president, and he was running. I might be wrong about that, but he was. I think it's when he was running for the Bull Moose Party,
Okay.
which came after his presidency. But he was trying to get back in the presidency again. This is before there was like term limits. You could be president multiple times, and there might have been term limits, but there you could be reelected under maybe a different party. But he was under, but he got shot.
Yeah.
And he had like a big wad of speech paper in it, and it went through that and kept it from like kind of fatally injuring him. It wasn't very. So he just kept on with his speech even after he got shot.
You know what's sad is that supposedly that every president that has gotten shot were actually good people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Oh, quit trying to fix our country, you asshole. You know. It's what it seems like. I mean, hell, Abraham, after he, did the whole freed the slaves thing or whatever, gets shot at a theater.
Yeah, but the people who did it was the people that hated what he had
No, I know. That's
stood
what I
for.
mean. It's like you didn't have to kill the guy. I mean, you could have just told him, you could have told him how you felt. But you didn't need to kill him. Like, what is that going to solve? Because people were still free by that time.
Yeah.
How did we go from movies to politics?
How'd that happen?
Yeah, I don't know.
Quick, somebody grab something.
It's the world we live in, unfortunately.
Well,
But-
movies, politics, they kind of go hand in hand depending on the movie.
Oh, but earlier I was talking about Chevy Chase he was also good in Community. He was really good in Community. I enjoy. Did you watch that show? Any?
I don't think I know that.
Community. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's a good
funny
show.
He's
Yeah,
just one of them. Yeah.
The guy
Sure.
created it was Dan Harmon. He also went on to co-create Rick and Morty. He did that later.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that the live action Rick and Morty's going to have Christopher Lloyd?
Yeah, I saw that trailer for it.
I was like, dude, that's cool.
Absolutely.
I mean-
it fits the part. Well, appearance-wise, anyway.
Yeah, he does. But I think Rick and Morty kind of got their idea from Back to the Future and,
Yeah.
of course, other stuff. But I think they kind of based the characters on Christopher Lloyd's, Doc
Yeah, I can see
Brown
that.
and Marty McFly because, they are traveling through time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I can see that. Huh.
and it makes sense why they would have Christopher Lloyd to come in to play the live action.
Yeah.
I hope it's like a whole episode and it's not just like a little 5-minute
Yeah.
little pop. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I heard it's a live action movie that is going to be on Cartoon Network, from what I understand.
Oh, really? That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
like it's going to be a special thing.
That'd be all right.
You know what they need to do is make a fucking live action of the Jetsons and have Danny DeVito play Mr. Spacely before it's too late.
They're
Right,
they're
right,
making triplets. Excuse me, twins.
Yeah, and
triplets.
Eddie Murphy's the freaking the triplet.
No, it's not Eddie Murphy.
Tracy
It's,
Morgan.
Tracy Morgan. Yeah.
Well, then they must have changed it because it was originally Eddie Murphy.
I would do. I'm not a Tracy Morgan fan whatsoever, but Eddie Murphy I'd see. But
yeah, I could have. Yeah, because I remember it being Eddie Murphy. So unless Eddie Murphy dropped out or something, but I didn't hear Tracy Morgan.
He may have dropped out because I know he's filming Beverly Hills Cop 4 for Netflix now.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
See, I didn't hear about Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Yep. Netflix picked the rights up to that, and they're making it.
Oh wow. Huh.
So, oh,
interesting.
After Coming to America too,
I didn't even see it yet, so I don't know how I feel yet.
it's not good.
In other words, it didn't live up to its potential.
No, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's not good.
But it's not the best either, yeah.
They rehash a lot of jokes from the first one, and it's just not good.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure it's fun to see the old cast back together, though, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, for the nostalgia factor, it's definitely worth seeing. But once that nostalgia wears off, you're kind of like, yeah, this is not good.
Well, if you think about it, it kind of reminds me of Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, because it's kind of like almost a rehash.
Yeah.
You know, because I remember Kevin Smith talking about how he was actually surprised that Ben Affleck even said he would do it, because he thought that maybe he wasn't over the past bullshit that happened or whatever, because I don't even know the story really.
Yeah. I mean,
but they had a certain falling out at one point.
I guess it's because Ben would talk to Kevin about stuff that happened and people on sets and stuff, and then Kevin would talk about that in the Q&As. And then Ben would run into trouble because Kevin was talking about it and putting the business out there, and that's kind of what caused the issue.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of funny to see, a good majority of people, because wasn't Shannon Doherty in there too for like a brief moment?
Mm-hmm. Like he got everybody back, like everybody who had ever been in a View Askew movie back.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't
some newer people, but yeah,
it wasn't a good movie. I mean, it was all right, but
I enjoyed it.
It was nice to see everybody.
Well, and Jason Mewes, who plays Jay, of course, he said it wasn't hard for him to look at Harley as his daughter, because he's in a sense kind of her uncle.
Well, they've always said that they've made jokes about that, because how much she's blonde and Kevin's not blonde, and his wife's not blonde.
No. So I mean, they said that whole emotion thing was kind of real for him.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a step up from some of the other stuff he had been doing.
Well, I don't really follow Jason Mewes' career so much. I just mainly see him in the Jay and Silent Bob Dogma.
Whenever he does anything other than Jay, it's not a good thing.
He made a movie.
Method in the Madness.
Yep. That's not bad. I don't know if you've seen it or not. It's not bad.
No.
It's pretty good.
Never heard of that one.
Yep.
I never saw it.
He basically plays himself.
Excuse me. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Kevin shows up in it, but he has to allow Kevin to show up in it. It's probably written in a contract somewhere. So if you make a movie, I have to show up in it.
Probably. I know Kevin Smith was on an episode of Law and Order SVU.
Yep. I remember him talking about that.
Yep. I mean, it was interesting to see him in the show, because when you know who Kevin Smith is, you're like, didn't take you for a person to be in that type of movie or show, I mean, he's tried to act in other stuff. Well, he did that. It just doesn't work.
No, he did that movie with Jennifer Gardner, Catch and Release.
A Jersey Girl, I think.
No, Catch and Release.
Catch and Release.
It was actually Catch and Release, and then that was when he actually had a bigger part in that, and then he was in Die Hard. Well, Live Free or Die Hard.
Yeah.
I liked him in that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think he had a hand in directing that one, actually.
He says he wrote, actually, some of that.
Yeah, that's right. He wrote
some of that.
I know that I remember watching one of his DVDs that he had out where it's his Q&A from, like, colleges or whatever he's going to. And he talked about how he was talking to Bruce Willis. Like, he called him up on the phone and this and that or whatever. And it was his chance to finally, like, say, hey, I want to do a movie with you. And that's when he was talking about the movie Cop Out.
which he says was a never regrettable experience. But
yeah,
it's funny. I actually enjoyed it for some odd reason. I didn't find anything that horrible.
No, the movie was fine, but they say Bruce Willis was just a miserable human being.
Like he's like that on every set movie that he's on, is from what I understand. Kind of like Chevy Chase, the whole whenever he's on set, they just become this weird person.
Bruce Willis is a good actor.
No, they're both good actors.
You need to see the Kevin Smith. He has a special he released on DVD called Too Fat for 40. It's basically a stand-up special, and he talks about that whole experience in Cop Out on that. I was telling you guys about it before, where he didn't know he didn't know the correct lens to use, and
I'm sure you guys want to have hold on.
And Bruce stepped in and is like, no, here, this is what lens you use to establish this type of shot or something like that. And, that's the kind of that's how Bruce was during that making,
Right.
I wanted to show you guys one of my recent pickups. I got it from eBay, and it's becoming hard to find for sure now, but it's the Matilda Score.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Like the actual score, David Newman. And he's done a lot.
I don't have a lot of scores.
A lot. I would say that one and Coraline are like my two favorite scores that I have.
Nice.
Love the music.
Did you ever try to find that Angus soundtrack I was telling you about? I bet it's impossible to find. I used to have it on CD a long time ago.
You know what? I'm not sure if I even tried looking for that. I should try.
It was there. It was out there at one time. I don't know. It might be very difficult to find, but.
Well, I don't know if you guys like to collect movie soundtracks or scores or whatever, but there's a guy that I came across on eBay, and I talked to him because I looked at his it's a Lost Boys soundtrack / score, because the score itself never got a release ever. Just the songs in general, the popular songs, mainstream, music.
Yeah.
And what he did is that he took the music from the movie, like the actual music, and just kind of put it all together and did like a CD1, CD2.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. So if anybody's interested.
I said the music from the Lost Boys, if I remember, it was really good. The score itself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love the music in the movie. In fact, I think that's what drives me to love the 80s movies a lot, was the music.
Well, yeah. And that's what I was talking to my wife about, is how kids nowadays don't. You used to have an 80s soundtrack. You used to be able to listen to that, hear the songs, and in your mind you could picture where that song was from in the movie, what was going on at the time. And now it's like you don't have it anymore. You just, if they have a song, it's some crap pop song they threw out just for some free publicity, or where the music almost told a story back in the 80s as well.
Well, see,
the 80s. The 80s sound was so the sound was so distinctive as well, just because
iconic, if anything.
Yeah. Well, you had like this movement into electronic music mixed with pop music, so you started having people experimenting with different types of sounds,
like
with,
the band New Order,
synthesizers and things like that, and it was just an interesting.
One
time.
of my favorite movie soundtracks is Top Gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the soundtrack.
Iconic soundtrack.
Yes, it is. And one I need to get is Footloose, because I definitely love the music in that one. The only 80s movies that I have right now for soundtracks is The Breakfast Club. She's Having a Baby, the one with Kevin Bacon.
Nice.
And what else do I have? I probably have to look at my soundtracks to actually tell you.
Get some John Hughes soundtracks there.
Like, I would love to get Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Great Outdoors, Uncle Buck. Braveheart, I know I want to get that for sure.
But John Hughes was one of them directors in the 80s who actually had a hand in the music that he put.
Yes, he did.
Movie. He selected the music for his movies.
I was just surprised when they did Breakfast Club, the music, the theme song, that their first choice was Billy Idol before the band Simple Minds did it. And when I heard Billy Idol's version, I was like, I'm kind of glad they didn't pick that Billy didn't take it.
And Simple Minds didn't want to do it. Their record label forced them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but it became a hit, became a single, it like nationally, worldwide known. Like, oh my God.
They don't regret doing it, but they didn't want to do it.
Exactly. You know, and I love Billy Idol. Trust me, I like his music, and he's got great songs. But when I heard his version of "Don't You Forget About Me," I was just like, yeah, I don't see his version fitting the movie.
Yeah,
because I, you know, maybe I should try to do like a little, like take a trailer from Breakfast Club and then paste over Billy Idol's version and see how well it looks.
Yeah, because that's it's kind of a wide range of Billy Idol to Simple Minds, but all right.
Oh, I know, because Billy Idol was more of a rock person, punk rock almost.
At that point, then he carried into the cyberpunk album and.
Oh yeah, I like Billy Idol. I can definitely say that I like Billy Idol. I mean, I don't have an issue with him as an artist. I basically like just about almost all of his songs. I do have my favorites, though, of course, like Eyes Without a Face, Rebel Yell, White Wedding. But
have you heard that new one?
Kind of like Michael Jackson. What?
Have you heard his new one?
No, I didn't even know he released a new one.
Yes, go check it out. It's an awesome song.
Okay, because I know Guns N' Roses did too.
They released a new song?
They released a new song.
Oh, no.
I think it's about a month old now or something like that.
Oh, no.
Is it okay?
It's definitely new age. You can definitely hear new age.
Okay.
It's not the best, I'll just say that, but it's not the worst.
That's fair. That's
well,
fair.
at least they're not rehashing old. They're trying to do something different.
Like Axl's singing style is so much different.
Yeah, I've seen a video of him live in concert, and you can definitely hear the difference.
Oh yeah, and his high pitched, singing voice that he can't do that no more.
Nah.
At least not like how he could.
At least he's having fun now.
Yes, he's not taking it so personal anymore like he used to.
Yeah.
And start fights with fans and dive off the stage just to punch someone in the face.
Yeah, he's not making people wait 3 hours before he comes out on stage because he's waiting for that moment.
Yes.
So that's a bonus.
Like when they finally got Guns N' Roses to agree to be on MTV, it wasn't even Guns N' Roses anymore. It was just Axl.
Yeah.
So you already had like Slash doing his thing with Velvet Revolver and other projects, of course. And yeah, I mean, I love Guns N' Roses. I love the classic 80s bands in general. AC/DC, like them. I think the 80s is literally like my all-time favorite era of music.
I'm always impartial to power pop bands. One of my favorites is XTC, and from the 80s. Nice. I don't know if you're familiar. They're a British band.
I don't know the name, but
just XTC. Yeah,
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah,
they're
British.
Yeah. I was talking to my daughter the other day.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom too.
Who's 17, and we were talking about how maybe it's the old fogey in me, but there is nothing nowadays that I can see somebody 20 years from now listening to and enjoying the way my daughter can listen to 80s music and get into it. And she loves 80s music, and she listens to it on on her YouTube. And I just don't see her kids listening to Cardi B or stuff like that and having that attachment to it.
No. Okay. Yeah. Everything's just how do you dance best to it?
Yeah.
That's no
love songs anymore the way they used to be. There's no just tap your foot fun music anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is really good hip hop out there, and I'm not a massive hip hop fan, but there's been some good stuff. But the problem, I really think there's a shame that we lost Motown and some of those type of bands, that we lost that, the black end of the rock and roll spectrum.
Plus, I mean, melody is gone. Harmonies are gone now. It's all about the bass line and the hook.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Drumming. It's all drum and bass, just beat oriented. I mean, it's.
You're amazed when you see a band play now and they actually have instruments. I mean, same with 80s movies, though. Like, kids nowadays love The Breakfast Club, and that movie's 30 years old.
Right.
And
this. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, and kids can still relate to that movie.
Well, this new generation's really hung up on the 80s because the 80s are just really big right now.
Oh, yeah.
Wearing the torn jeans again. I remember that fad first came out back having the holes in your jeans and stuff like that. I remember.
I was at Target and they had a whitewashed denim jacket. And I said, "Oh shit, look at that."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and now the T-shirts all have screen printed from 80s movies or 80s bands, it's amazing the way the 80s have all of a sudden become the it thing.
Better the 80s than the 70s because, the 70s had some good stuff, but the 70s, I was born in 78, so I didn't experience any of the 70s. So I was an 80s kid too, like you and all of us here. But the 70s just seemed it was like a transitional period for music and movies and everything. You had great movies, obviously, Chinatown. But you had a dark period. It felt like a dark period to me. It's the ways movies looked, the way music was. Then you got into like disco and stuff like that, and then punk, and so which is the punk was good. And have you ever heard a band called Death? They were just called Death. There's a documentary called A Band Called Death. They were called Death. But they're these like three black guys from Detroit in like from the early 70s, and they were doing punk. It was punk rock straight up, way like a decade before punk rock was before. Yeah, I think it was on Netflix, but it's called A Band Called Death. And and I mean it was like punk rock way before punk rock
actually became punk rock,
yeah.
Or at least became mainstream. It was probably always there. It was just, very few bands like actually went anywhere with it.
Not to this degree though. This was straight up like the punk you would hear, like Sex Pistols, punk, those type of
Ramones,
riffs.
or Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Similar to that.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but
if you had to compare it, that's why I was asking.
Yeah, well, I can't remember their sound 100%. I just remember seeing the documentary and being, but that's what the documentary's about. How the type of music they were was like, how they were basically a punk band way before that.
Yeah,
they don't necessarily go in there and say, "Oh, well, we credit them for creating punk music," but it was just because but they were just really talented for the era. It's pretty cool documentary.
I want to let anybody know now before we actually end the night and all is that this Wednesday, just remember we're doing movies and Sue. I always want to say movies with Sue for some reason, but Jody had an idea. Jody, how about you go ahead and mention what we're planning on doing?
Oh yeah, for everyone that attends, I think the best way to probably do it is you got to be here. You got to comment or ask some sort of question so it kind of gets a list going. And then I guess we'll decide once that night comes who's going to choose the winner. And the winner will be giving away the brand new 4K release for Clockwork Orange.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
I want it. I want it.
Yeah. Well, you got to be here and you got to comment or ask a question.
Okay.
Well, I can't
so
comment
don't leave it up.
I don't have a keyboard.
We just won't leave it. We won't leave the picking
up.
Well,
there is a way that we can give, and I can bring it up on screen, but I'll have to figure out where I can find it at. One of my other friends uses it on his live streams, but it's a elimination wheel, and you enter all the people's names into it, and then you spin the wheel, and each spin eliminates somebody, and then you work your way down to the winner.
Okay.
Well, I like that. So we can eliminate somebody like every 5 minutes.
Okay.
Just dwindling them down. Of course, that person then's going to leave. So maybe this is a terrible idea. It's going to come down to where it's going to be us 4, us 3 and the guest, and then whoever's left, they're going to be like, yeah, I won. So,
or since Sue would be the guest, maybe we could have her pick.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll come up with the idea.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, either way, you got to be here and you got a question or comment to get on the list.
Yep.
That sounds good.
And we don't care what kind of question or comment it is, but I would say let's say that it has to do with Clockwork Orange. In general,
right,
like who's got the best question, who's got the best comment, whatever it may be.
It's been a while since I watched the movie, so I'm going to have to go back and rewatch it. We're going to have people asking questions about the movie. I'm going to be like, listen, I don't remember.
I think it's on streaming. I'll have to stream it for me to be able to actually watch the movie.
See, that's why. Somewhere. I've picked up some of the Kubrick stuff, especially the steelbooks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I wish the reason I haven't considered picking that up yet is because I want them to release a full set of Kubrick movies because I already have the Blu-ray set.
Hitchcock.
Well, yeah, they have a Kubrick Blu-ray set just like that. It has all of his movies in it. Well, most of his movies, but I want that kind of set. But if
it'll
they don't,
happen.
They don't.
I know they're slowly checking off his list and doing 4K. I think after this one, I think Eyes Wide Shut is either next.
It's going to be his other 4K. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, they're doing that because they're doing it one at a time because they make more money. Because they stick a big set out there for $200, nobody will buy it.
Yeah, because I have The Shining and I have Full Metal Jacket for Stanley Kubrick stuff. Actually, wait, did he do 2001: A Space Odyssey?
Yes.
Okay, then I have that one too.
I want to see Dr. Strangelove in 4K, but it's black and white. Some people get on and say, "Oh man, black and white in 4K is so great," and all this stuff. And I've seen a couple of transfers that I've not really been blown away with in 4K. It don't make. It's almost like kind of upscale anime or something. A lot of times unless it's done really well, that it don't make a big difference.
So you haven't watched it on the 4K yet, is what you're saying?
What, Dr. Strangelove?
Yeah.
Is it out on 4K?
Yeah, it's with the Columbia Classics Volume 1.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. I probably haven't then. Because I've seen it so many damn times.
Yeah,
I've got like 3 or 4 versions of it. I've got the Criterion version of it and another Blu-ray version of it. I've got it on Laserdisc. I got it on DVD and 4K, I guess.
Damn.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite movies. It's up there. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I sometimes double dip or triple dip, but it's not a lot.
I may have watched it. I can't remember. I don't know. That's why I had to take a couple of months here where I haven't really been even watching much. I haven't been buying much. I haven't been watching much. I had to take a break. So I'm getting ready to start getting back into watching movies again. So
I need to get my ass to watch the movies that I haven't watched yet in my collection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I just barely just watched the 2018 Halloween.
Just now?
Like a few days ago.
Man.
And I liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's good stuff.
It was better than what I had thought, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, again, it goes back to they got Carpenter involved, and he could kind of help steer that ship.
Oh, yeah. Like, I loved the anticipation in it. There were certain characters I was like, oh, really? You had to kill them off? But for the most part, it was enjoyable. I know that with Halloween Kills, it's basically just going to start from them in the back of that truck and them going to rescue or put out the fire, so to speak.
Well, my understanding is Kills picks up where the 18 left off, and then Ends picks up where Kills leaves off. So it's one night.
Yeah.
The 3 movies are just one night.
Damn.
I like that idea. Right? So I mean,
And-
it's
It may have not been Halloween Day yet when they did No, I lie because I think I remember kids running around and one bumped into them.
mhm.
Yeah.
It starts on Halloween.
But then again, I was a fan of Halloween 4 though. So
Well, I mean, I happen to like all the Halloween movies. I just haven't. I think the only one I hadn't seen was like H2O, and there was another one either right before or right after it.
Resurrection.
Resurrection, thank you.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones I have not seen.
not missing a whole lot.
Nah.
Well, I'm sure I'm not, but I'd still
I mean,
like to
I would
see
say,
it
yeah,
so I can say I've
if
seen
you're a
them.
completionist, definitely see them so you can say I have. But
Oh, like
I
Jason. I've seen all the Jason movies.
Yeah. I like the idea behind H2O, but as a film, I just wasn't really into it. But Resurrection was just a waste of time.
when H2O and the most memorable thing is Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of getting what you get there.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
I heard that H2O, that the reason why I got the name H2O, and I could be wrong about it, but I heard that it was because it's Halloween, but it's 20 years later or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because like I said, I hadn't seen it, but that was what I had heard is how the title became.
They set up the movie set up well. I liked because they didn't ignore 4 and 5.
Right.
They set it up good. That's the one part that I did enjoy about it. But it just
Season of the Witch totally threw me off when I saw that one.
Yeah.
Because
That
I was
was just-
expecting Michael Myers, but no.
that was them thinking, hey, maybe we can just take the Halloween name and start making Halloween
well,
movies.
that was Carpenter's original intent.
yeah.
Oh,
true
to
too.
do like
True too.
kind of like Tales from the Crypt each.
Yes,
different chapter.
that was his
Yeah.
original intent with that, was to do that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he was going to let other people direct it, but he would kind of executive produce everything. And,
Did
kinda
anyone
like
ever see the Friday the 13th series?
yep, where they went completely with the
Oh, completely different.
haunted items.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of them. You can't do that. You can't.
Oh, I know. Like it's just weird how they sometimes they try to take movies and turn it into TV shows. Like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, they tried to do that.
Yes.
Nah, that was
With
awful.
Jennifer Aniston and Charlie Schlatter or Schlatten,
Yeah.
however you pronounce his name. Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
bad idea.
And then Bill and Ted was also a cartoon.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I actually enjoyed the cartoon. I thought it was actually fun. Now, a classic cartoon, because I know that, John, you like the 80s classic, and I think some of the 90s classic ones too. Denver the Last Dinosaur.
I don't remember that.
I
one.
remember Denver.
Really?
No.
Wow.
What was
Is
it
that-
on?
It was the Saturday morning cartoon type of.
Yeah, I
You
don't
know, show.
remember that at all. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Well, actually, I could be wrong. It might have been like an after school type of cartoon show. Because kids come home and they want to,
Yeah.
like see their, shows or whatever, and then Denver came on.
I remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
And then there was Dino
remember.
Riders.
No, I think I remember that, but
Dino Riders was awesome. It kind of reminded, do you guys knew the show Terra Nova?
I remember. It was on NBC.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
It was where they where the Earth became so bad, but they built a portal to go back in time and basically try to rebuild humanity. But it's during the prehistoric age with dinosaurs,
I remember.
and it kind of reminded me of Dino Riders because Dino Riders they kind of did the same thing. They were from the future, and they ended up back to Earth where it was the dinosaur age, and then rebuilding humanity, but more futuristic tech, weaponizing the animals, or befriending them because you had two different teams. You had the good guys, you had the bad guys. Bad guys would put a thing called a brain box on top of the dinosaur's head where they had control over them. And then the good guys had these like mind empathetic type of things where it would talk to them mentally, not physically.
I'm pretty sure I had these toys.
Oh yeah, they were popular.
Well, yeah. If you're a cartoon in the '80s, you had toys.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I remember having those.
No, yeah, like I'm just surprised the Dino Riders never got like a DVD release for its limited series or anything like that, because it was a cool show. I thought it was awesome.
Again, that's a Mill Creek. We're looking at you kind of things.
Right?
Yeah, Mill Creek, do something. But anyway, it looks like we're hitting our 2-hour mark, and
right.
Yeah.
But Tim, thank you for joining us today.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime. It's been a blast.
It's been a good time.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us.
No, you're very welcome, guys.
We'll try to
No
get
problem.
around to having you on again. We got several guests. I say that a lot, but we do intend to get some other people back on.
Oh,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah, definitely.
Sure.
Absolutely.
You've been a good guest. All the people that are, come on and do a good job with us. So
Good.
thank you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the one previous before you, John and I did one with a lady named Lana Winters, who's actor, writer, producer, director. That was a fun one. If you guys haven't seen that,
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed that one.
Yeah, you did.
I know.
Sure.
I know.
You missed quite a
Yes,
bit,
you
actually.
I know. It's crazy over here. I'm sorry. It's awful. I'm looking forward to Wednesday, and I got one in mind. Hopefully, we can get him set up for a Sunday soon. So.
Oh, who do you have in mind?
I got Hector the Collector.
Hector
Anybody's
the
on-
Collector.
Anybody's on Instagram, you know who Hector is. He's
You'll
a
have
good dude.
to. I don't know if I have him on my following list.
Check him
or
out.
not.
Yeah,
Hector the Collector,
definitely need
I'll
to check
have
him
to-
out. He's
Absolutely.
he's got some good stuff. He does movies, and he also is really big into statues and stuff too. He does some
cool.
sideshow stuff, so
Nice.
he's gonna be a good dude.
Did you guys follow Sue yet?
I already was, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was already following her too.
Oh, okay. Well, because I gave her your guys' profile, so then that way she knew who you two were before going into it on Wednesday, and yeah, she still would like to get a thumbnail to promote on her YouTube channel as well as Twitter.
I was working on something. I'll shoot her something over.
You'll send it to her.
Yeah, I can just DM it to her, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, I'll let her know that you'll DM it.
Cool.
Alrighty, cool. Well, thank you, Tim.
Yeah.
Welcome,
yeah,
sir.
thank you
Thanks, sir.
for being on.
Welcome, guys.
Hey, before we get off here, make sure you follow Tim on o73 Media.
Thank you. That's
Yep.
my
Jody, where you
80
can
Centric channel. Thank you.
guys follow Still Raising 4Ks and
Mhm.
follow Raging Entertainment on
Absolutely.
YouTube and Instagram and all the other fun stuff. And I'm Kentucky Fried Movie and Toy Reviews. And thank you for being here, and we'll talk to you later.
Later on, guys.
Good
Yeah.
night.
Have a good one. See ya.
See ya.